What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today's focus on the Blazer is the fuel system. We need to figure something out as far as the fuel system. So I seen some shit talker in the comments saying that this is just a stock 5.3, bro. Like, my Toyota Camry is gonna be faster. In which the dude is absolutely right. I don't know why it is I'm doing any of this. I may as well just throw it all away because it's completely trash. I'm just playing, dude. You gotta love haters. But he is right to a certain extent. I do plan on using the stock fuel lines on this for the time being because it is just a stock 5.3. I don't think that we need anything drastic and crazy over the top as far as the fuel system. For the front, as far as plugging into the stock fuel lines, which are down in there and up here to the stock fuel rails, or the lines are on this manifold, I have a plan for that. That should be relatively easy. Honestly, most of this should be relatively easy. I think the only hard part is the fact I need to pull this damn tank out. Alloyworks is giving the DBFam a percentage off of anything that they purchase on their website. Link is in the description down below, as well as the promotional code. Go check it out. I'm excited to get this thing installed on the Blazer. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that yet because we're just not ready for it. Link is in the description below. So I creep. Yeah, just keep it on the down low. Said nobody is supposed to know. Oh, I must be on the ground. I must be on the ground. You gotta come messing with me. Oh, you gotta come love me. Of course there'd be a big ass spider web underneath there. Why wouldn't there be a big ass spider web underneath there? Every single time I try to work on any of my vehicles at this damn house and I have to get underneath it, there's a spider. Probably not the best method because that's the gas tank right there. But we gotta get rid of spider webs, and at the same time, we're also checking for leaks, right? This should be enough tools to get us started. There is a cover over the gas tank, and then there should be some straps holding it down. We'll have some fuel lines we gotta disconnect. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. Glad I haven't seen any spiders. It's just all spider webs. But yeah, dude, completely filling the void between that cover and the fuel tank. Completely filling it. All spider webs. And some dead bugs. Dead, lifeless bugs that has had their blood sucked out by some freaking blood-sucking vampire-ish damn spiders. Not too shabby. Just clean this thing up really quick, so whenever we do need to put it back on the truck, it'll already be ready. Should be wearing safety glasses. Oh. So much shit fell on me. Holy crap. Look how much stuff is back here. And screw spider webs, man. There's a whole nest of spider eggs over there that I would not have been excited if that fell on me. Now I need to work on getting the fuel lines disconnected. That's always the fun part. You know, I was just thinking, out of all of these that I have owned through my lifetime, I've had like 6 of these. I have never done a fuel pump on one of these though. You can actually access all of the freaking fuel lines right here. I probably could have got to these before we even took the straps off the tank, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all this disconnected. We have the 3 lines. One is a feed, one's a return, one's a vent, and then we have the filler neck right here. We gotta get disconnected, so. This thing has actually got quite a bit of fuel in it, which I want to get out of there because I want to clean it. Plus, who knows how old this shit is. Probably not even any good. Oh, yep, it's yellow. For sure, it's yellow. That is a really freaking small fuel pump. Good Lord. I got this thing set up out here. I'm just gonna pressure wash the living shit out of it, inside and out. I wanna make sure this thing is clean. I mean, the inside's the important part, but you guys know how I am. I wanna clean up the outside, make it look nice as well. I wanna get this thing sprayed out first so that it has plenty enough time to sit out here and dry while we're working on fuel lines and stuff. And I still have to figure out a pump. On today's episode of Absolutely Pointless Shit, where we do absolutely pointless shit, we are going to be scrubbing, priming, and painting this fuel tank. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm not gonna paint it, but I am gonna scrub it. I got the outside as cleaned up as it wants to be. Got a lot of this shit off, man. It does look a lot nicer than what it was. Mainly just wanted to get the outside cleaned up so that once I get the inside clean, I'm not putting more shit back inside because I'm cleaning the outside. So anyhow, when I was dumping this, when I sprayed it out, was trying to dump it, I was getting a lot of like black chunks and just like junk out of the inside of this. If you like look inside of there, like I know you guys aren't gonna be able to see it, but if you like look inside of there, it looks relatively clean. Like there isn't like a buildup or any kind of like surface rust or anything on the inside, but there was just like some chunks of shit. So, but it's so hard to get everything out. What I'm doing now is I'm just gonna completely fill this thing full of water and then dump it and then just do that a couple of times and then just set it up out here somewhere for it to dry. I'm wanting to pressure wash the underbody of this thing because it is like really dirty, especially now that I have the fuel tank out. Like it's the perfect time to do it. Like I want to kind of pressure wash this rear end because it's got a lot of built up shit on it. I want to get like all these lines, like the whole inside of the frame rail. Like I want to clean all this. Is it going to necessarily make it look any better? Probably not, but it's not going to be all built up and full of freaking, you know, road grime and everything like it is now. I just don't like this, bro. Like you rub something and there's shit falling and all right, I got my goggles, I got my freaking super clean, bro. I dead ass feel like Scuba Steve right now. I'm actually gonna do this from under the truck, so I'm gonna be laying on the creeper pressure washing. Yeah, this should definitely be interesting. Most certainly gonna have to change after I'm done. I think we need the big guns out here. But look where the super clean is just dripping onto the ground. Like it's solid black, man. This is it running off onto my arm. That is how freaking disgusting it is down there. So I creep, yeah, yeah.
You have any regrets?
I don't know if I would have known it was gonna be this bad, I don't know if I'd have still done it, but I mean, it had to be done.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. It is 10 times worse than what I was expecting. I mean, I knew I was gonna get wet, but Jesus Christ.
You didn't expect it to be dirty?
Does my face look like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Your whole body looks like that.
I gotta pressure wash the garage out now.
Yeah.
Bro.
You got a lot of cleanup time for the cleanup time.
Oh my God, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, I gotta, yeah.
Yeah, well, enjoy doing that.
Good thing I changed my shoes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they were white.
Yeah, these are white shoes.
Yeah, you can't
But
tell.
my other shoes are like white, actual white shoes.
Yeah.
These were like really dirty, like black white shoes.
Oh, okay.
Now they're just white. I mean, now they're just black.
I was about to say, I was like,
now
yeah.
they're black. Dude, you know what's crazy is those lines right there. Those ones up inside of there. Those were at one time completely accessible, in which they are no longer. So, man, I need to get some fittings on there, but they have like a little flare on the tip of them so that, you know, because originally you just put a hose on there with a hose clamp. So I have to cut that little flare off the tip of them so that I can put my little conversion pieces to actually run a inline to that. I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but yeah, now literally the steering shaft, the alternator bracket, like everything's in the way. That's like so hard to get to now. I have to get in there with a grinder. Now what I need to do is put my compression fittings on, and I have this extra intake that's got the fuel lines on it so I can demonstrate to you how it is that they work. It's raining fittings. Hallelujah. Anyhow, so on this intake manifold, this is the same as the manifold that is actually on the Blazer right now. This has a feed and a return. Some of them don't have a return. The return is actually built into the fuel filter, in which that is the style that Braven has on his Colorado out there, but I am running this style. So what we're going to be using to convert these over, well, not these, but what I'm going to be using to convert those lines that are actually on the Blazer over to AN are these compression fittings. So if you take it apart, it has, shit, I dropped it. I'm going to slide this on first, and then you put the little ferrule inside of there, just like so. So the back side of the fitting is on, that little gold piece is inside of there over the tube, and then you go ahead and you screw this front piece on. And basically what you do here is, you know, double wrench, man. You got to hold one side and you tighten the other side. And as these fittings come together, they compress that ferrule inside of there. It compresses and it latches on to this hard line and basically makes it like one piece, bro. It gives you a good, nice, tight seal. And then once you get it all tightened down, the end of it is a -6 AN, and that's what we're going to be able to run our AN line off of. So I am not going to be running these compression fittings on my actual intake manifold. I have different fittings for those, in which I'm going to show you here in a little bit. But first I want to get these mounted onto the fuel lines that are on the truck, the ones that we just cut. Now the two sizes we have here is 3/8 of an inch and 5/16. The larger one is 3/8, that is our feed line, and the smaller one is 5/16, and that is our return line. That is actually the same size lines that we have right here. That's why I was using these to demonstrate. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these thrown on, but before I do that, we need to clean those lines out, because I just put a bunch of dust in them from cutting. This section right here where it goes from hard line into rubber line back into hard line, I'm gonna be disconnecting it from right here, and I'm gonna shoot compressed air through all of my fuel lines from back here up to there, because we cut on the front, and I want to make sure that I get all the little shavings and dust and stuff out of there. Not only am I going to be disconnecting it from right here in order to do that, but I'm also disconnecting it from right here because I am going to actually eliminate all the hard line from this point on. So those same compression fittings, I'm going to put a couple of them back here, so then I can go ahead and run AN line from this point all the way up there. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I need to add a fuel filter into this, and it doesn't have, I'm surprised, but it doesn't have a stock fuel filter down here on the frame rail. This is what I've got so far. So I eliminated all the hard lines from this point on. Well, the feed and the return, I'm leaving the vent. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave the vent the way it was stock and run it all the way up to the front. I don't know exactly what it is I'm gonna plug it into. Put in the comments what it is I should plug the damn vent into. I don't know if that like goes into the intake or what, like to suck the fumes out of the gas tank or whatever it is. But right now I am cutting the tip of the return line off because I need to put one of those compression fittings on here, and it does have a flare right there on the end so that the fitting won't fit like over it. So I need to cut that off, and I also cut the feed line all the way back over here because I need to make room for my filter. I want to put the filter in here somewhere. So where the hard line ended right here, that didn't leave me very many options of where to put this. So I want it to be more like right here somewhere. So I went ahead and cut that back. That is ready to go ahead and put the compression fitting on it. I already blew it out with compressed air. I wish I was recording, bro. I don't know if you guys can see that shiny spot on the ground right there. It's kind of already dry, but there's a shitload of freaking old ass fuel inside of there. And as soon as I pulled the trigger on my air nozzle, it just blasted out all over the place over there, dude. I was like, what the hell? Anyhow, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna cut this off, get a compression fitting put here. This is the 5/16. I'm gonna put a 3/8 compression fitting on that one, and then I need to get out from underneath here and make some lines. Alright, I got this all put back together. All the little factory mounting points are all still intact, holding all these hard lines nice and tight. This is our feed once again, so now I have my compression fitting on there to go to -6AN. This is gonna go straight into the filter, which is right here. Damn, birds are loud as hell, bro. Quiet on set. Anyhow, now I need to make some lines. It's gonna go from the feed line right here, -6. It'll go into the filter and then out of the filter, and then we'll route it up there and it'll go straight to the top of the fuel tank. And then our return line is right here, also with the compression fitting, -6. So we'll just attach from here, and it'll run back there to the fuel tank, and then from this point back it'll just be AN line, and then all of this will be all hard line. Now I need to get out and make lines. Yippee. I also need to figure out how to mount this here. I just kind of have the bracket wedged in behind the lines for now, which it'll work for now, but I eventually want to actually hard mount it to where I know it's not going to be shaking around and shit. But well, this thing is just about dry, but we are not ready for that just yet. I got all of my fuel lines made, and my hands are freaking killing me, bro. 8 AN fittings I just got done putting on these damn things. We're not ready for those yet either. We're gonna have to clean those fuel lines on the inside, make sure there's no shit inside of them before we actually put them on. But as you guys know, I got all the compression fittings done underneath the truck. I also got the compression fittings done right here. So that is the feed and the return where it comes out of the frame right there. So moving on, we have a set of fittings that we need to put on the fuel rail, or on the fuel lines that are coming off of the fuel rails. I'm gonna use this intake manifold as a demonstration once again. So I had planned on using the compression style fittings on here as well, the ones that have the ferrule. I would have had to cut these lines to get this little flared portion, or whatever you'd call that, off of there, because it's in the way to get that fitting on far enough. But then I came across these, so I guess this is called like a quick connect fitting. If you search on Amazon, quick connect AN LS fuel rail, like you put those keywords in and search, you'll find these. I did not order these ones off of Amazon. I actually went and picked them up from Speedway because I want them now. I don't want to wait until tomorrow. So anyhow, these have like an O-ring inside of there, and this actually goes on the back side of the fuel line and is what like kind of holds this on and keeps it tight. So since being there is an O-ring in there, you want to lube up your tube, and then this guy just slides onto the front, and then it maxes out against that little flared portion. And then this piece, just because it's got that notch in it, you see how it's notched like that? And then it's also threaded. This piece goes over the tube on the back and then screws into the back of the fitting, screws all the way down, and then you tighten those two against one another, and bam, that thing is on there. You don't want to over tighten it. I did watch some videos on it, and another guy had explained, in which I feel like I probably should share as well. You don't want to over tighten this. You just kind of make it snug so it can't come off. You don't want to crank it down because you can damage the fitting. But this movement, it does have a little bit of movement. It does kind of wobble a little bit, and it'll let you move it forward and back. That's normal, so don't worry. Don't try cranking this thing down tighter so it doesn't move. It's completely normal for this to move. So the 3/8 is the feed line. That's the one that we just put on there, the larger line. The smaller line is 5/16, and I also got the same exact fitting for the return, which is the 5/16. So these I am now going to pop onto my fuel lines. What's dope is you can still pop this back off. You don't have to cut nothing. Everything is still reusable. You could pop this off and use it somewhere else. Or if you wanted to go back to stock for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing that's really dope about these fittings. Just like that, no cutting, no nothing, bro. And our lines are now converted over to -6 AN. So now I'm gonna go ahead and blow all these lines out, and that is as simple as just blowing compressed air through both ways, man. You just wanna make sure you don't have any dust or any of the, you know, whenever you're cutting the lines, you don't want all that stuff inside of the line still, all the debris from cutting it. That could clog your injectors and cause all kinds of problems. So you want to make sure you clean these out really good. Got all of our fuel lines in. I want to start back here where the fuel tank would be at. So if you look up here, I left the vent line like I mentioned earlier. So I took all the hard lines back from about halfway and just ran AN line from there up to here. But the only one that I left was the vent. So I am going to reconnect that to the factory hard line. And then I have these two AN lines that are going to actually connect to the tank. And then you follow the AN lines up, and they go nice and clean in the frame rail. I went ahead and I threw a couple of zip ties here and there, but really you don't even need it, bro. This stuff just kind of like, there's enough little passageways for it to go through that it just holds it there. But I did put some zip ties just for the sake of putting some zip ties, you know. Anyhow, the return line comes up and we have it plugged into the hard line here, and then the feed line runs up and goes into our fuel filter. And this is the same filter that I have on khaki. It actually has a stainless steel mesh on the inside. I forget the micron, but it's a really dope ass filter, man. Really easy to take apart and clean. And then it comes out of the filter and runs up here to the factory hard line. And that's where it continues to where those little stubs stick out of the frame up there. So what I think is nice about using the factory hard lines the way that I am is about back here, it starts to run through the actual frame rail, and that keeps the lines like safe from any like potential pinch points, or it also keeps it away from the headers and the exhaust. So that's a really nice thing to be able to utilize. And then it comes out the frame right there. As you guys know, the lines follow up. I have a couple of 45s on it, and it comes up and then in between here, which I like this too, because going through the dirty dingo bracket, it just holds the lines to where they can't go anywhere. And then the feed and return wrap up, and I have it in these 180 degree fittings that then plug into the fuel rail, or the hard line that goes to the fuel rails right there. So I think it looks really clean, man. I like up here, there's no need to zip tie anything. Everything is like nice and safe. Nothing's gonna be able to get damaged. With it going through here, it keeps it away from any moving parts, you know what I'm saying, away from the belt. And then down here, it's away from the header. It's just, I don't know, I really like how it came out. So I do still have a couple of short lines that I need to make for the top of the gas tank. That's gonna actually connect to the sending unit, to the fuel pump, and then it's gonna run over and it's gonna connect to our two lower lines right here. So these are those two lines that I showed you from underneath. Now, whenever I put the fuel tank in, you have access to this area right here where we can hook up and disconnect our lines. So I figured it'd be a lot easier to do it that way. I can just have these kind of tucked over out of the way. We can put the fuel tank up there, and then from there I could just reach over and grab the lines that are attached to the top and then connect it to these. I ordered two male-to-male -6 AN fittings that I can just screw them together right here. But I am waiting for those to come in. Not only those, but also some more line, because I completely ran out of freaking AN line. This was the last little bit that I had. While we are waiting for my line to show up, I figure we can go ahead and get the fuel pump and the gas tank and everything ready to go. Well, there's the fuel pump and sending unit. That is all finished up. We have our -6 AN lines put on there. Got the new fuel pump. So I forget the exact specs of this fuel pump. It was like a it's like similar to a Walbro 255 or something. I looked up the specs originally whenever I got it, and like the PSI and the liters per hour and like all that is higher than a replacement pump for a Tahoe. So basically it's a good enough pump for now, and it's E85 capable, though we're not going to be running E85 on this fuel setup. But if I wanted to, the fuel pump is good enough, just all the damn lines I just made aren't. So, yeah, I do have it hooked up to a power probe so we can see that it's working. She fires up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this put back into the fuel tank so that it is ready. And now we are just waiting for Amazon to deliver the rest of our hose, man. Bam! Boys, so Amazon came through. Finally got the hose delivered so we can make the two lines that we still have remaining. And look at this. Sun's not even down yet. Well, not completely. I guarantee you it'll be down by the time I'm done making these damn two lines. Our gas tank is ready to go. I got these things all pressure washed off and cleaned up too, as well as this. So yeah, we just gotta slap that thing up in there. I got the last two lines made, and I marked the feed line with the white tape on the end, and then also the line that's in here I marked the feed line with the white tape on the end, so there's no confusion. I don't accidentally hook it up backwards. Yeah, the hardest part of this process is probably just going to be putting this thing back in there and hooking that damn thing up. If you guys have ever taken out a gas tank, you know how much of a pain in the ass that thing is sometimes, but I will definitely be putting some sriracha sauce on it. Also, I forgot to mention how I'm going to be connecting the lines together are these 6-to-6 AN. So this is just a double male. So both sides is a -6 AN. So I'll screw this into both ends and bam, our lines are connected. All right, here we go. I got the pump rigged up, so just boom. I mean, I knew it was gonna work. Of course it's gonna work. All right, we just gotta check for leaks. I don't see it dripping anywhere, so that's a good thing. Looking good, looking good. Make sure to kind of move everything around. See if we can create a leak, you know what I'm saying? I definitely hear the fuel running. This is kind of like my first sign of life, so I could definitely smell fuel though, and I would imagine it's because of that vent. We have the vent hooked up and it's running all the way up to here, so I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm pretty sure I just run that to the intake. I think. I don't know. Put in the comments if anybody knows. By the time I post this, I probably already looked it up to figure it out. But another thing I ought to ask you guys is, what is this? What is this thing for? It runs up to this little valve right here. I don't know what that is. I'm wanting to just delete it, whatever it is. If anybody knows, throw that in the comments, please. It's another thing I'm going to do some research on. I just haven't had a chance. You guys make things so much easier for me sometimes whenever I just ask these little questions and you guys throw it in the comments. Because yeah, a lot of times I forget about the stuff, you know, and then I'll be going through the comments and I'd be like, oh, I forgot that I even asked that, and I forgot I wanted to look that up, so thank you for responding. But hell yeah, dude, there it is. Fuel system is done. We have almost completely converted this thing over to AN fittings, so we just have a small section of hard line still there. So like I said, this is a temporary fuel setup. Whenever we do go E85, I'm gonna run full AN all the way back, all the way through. I'm not gonna have any of the hard line or anything there, but I'm gonna wait to put it on E85 until we do something like a cam or some kind of power adder, you know what I'm saying? Because I really do want to. I'm gonna go talk to Curly and Billy over at ASM, see if they'll let me put this thing on the dyno completely stock, and then like whenever we do a cam and like E85 or something, go dyno it again. I think that'd be dope just to see the power gains from completely stock. But hell yeah, dude, there it is. All the fuel system is freaking done. We got a brand new fuel pump. Everything is cleaned out. All the new AN lines and everything. I feel really confident about it. We got a brand new fuel pump. That's kind of the reason why I'm letting it run right now. So I'm gonna let the fuel circulate. It is going through the fuel rails and everything. But the injectors aren't firing, you know what I'm saying? So right now it's kind of running through the system and letting the filter catch anything that potentially could still be in there, but I doubt there would be much because we literally cleaned everything. So anyhow guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We are one step closer. I need to get that wiring harness out and start doing wiring and everything. The big things we have left is obviously the wiring, drive shaft. I need a drive shaft. There's a lot of little things, but I think those are the two major big things. Anyhow, peace. I'll see you on the next one.